see your hands if you know the number for an emergency. If you need a policeman, a fireman, or an ambulance. What is it? 911. Very good. Emergency number only, okay? Only use that number if you have an emergency. You need a policeman, a fireman, or an ambulance. What about when your little brother or sister pops you in the head? Isn't that an emergency? No! It hurts, don't it? Okay. Only for emergency. If you need a policeman, a fireman, or an ambulance. The 911 system that we have here, it shows up on the screen. It will show your address. It will show where you're calling from. And guess what? Even if you hang the phone up immediately, the policeman is going to come to your house and see if everything's okay. And if you're playing around with the phone, you think somebody's going to be in trouble? Yeah. If you've got an emergency, they're there to help. But if you're playing around with the phone, you can get in trouble. You also taking away from the people that may be having an emergency. So if you're playing around, it could affect somebody that really does need a policeman or a fireman or an ambulance. So remember, it's for emergencies only, okay? All right. Second graders, y'all got it going on now, so y'all can play with matches and stuff now. Y'all picking up now, right? No, never play with matches, lighters, candles, anything that burns like that. Who knows why? You don't play with them. You can burn yourself. You can get burnt really bad. You can also burn your house down. You can catch your clothes on fire. That will really hurt, wouldn't it? So it can hurt you very bad. It'll leave scars for the rest of your life. So never play with matches, lighters, candles. If you find them laying around, who knows what you should do? What should you do if you find them laying around? Tell a grown-up. Yeah, tell them that there's matches. That way your baby brother or sister don't get into them and play with them, or they don't play with the candles. So you want to tell a grown-up, and that way they can put them up out of their way, because we don't want them to get hurt. Who knows what to do if your clothes were to accidentally catch on fire? Stop, drop, and roll. Very good. Y'all are doing good on this test. Stop, drop, and roll. If your clothes catch on fire, and the yellow jacket don't sting me, we'll be doing good. If your clothes catch on fire, you don't want to run, because if you run, it's going to make it get bigger and bigger. And it's going to burn you. So you want to stop, you want to drop on the ground and cover your face, and then you want to roll over and over, back and forth. Cover your face, and that way the fire don't get up where you're breathing, okay? So remember, stop, drop, and roll. And that's only if your clothes accidentally catch on fire, because we're not supposed to be playing with matches and lighters, right? No. Okay, second graders, I know y'all do a lot of cooking in the kitchen, right? Yeah. I like you do. How many knows how to use a microwave? Okay. You never want to play around the stove in the kitchen, because what's on top of the stove eye? Stove eye, right. Stove eyes get really, really hot. There's hot liquid, hot water, hot grease, and that stuff can burn you almost as bad as what the flames can. So you don't want to be playing around in the kitchen, throwing balls, or pull a pan off on top of you, because it can burn you really bad and it will hurt. It will leave scars that will last forever. So you don't want to be playing around in the kitchen, okay? That's not a place to play around the stove. There are other places in the house to play, right?
Yeah. It's not that hurt.
All right.
It's a yellow jacket. It's just a yellow jacket.
Anybody know what this is?
Oh, the jacket.
Close. It's a smoke detector. And what does the smoke detector do? It smells for smoke in your house. Let's see your hand if you have one of these in your house. Very good. If you don't have a smoke detector in your house, you need to tell Mom and Dad that you need one. If you get in touch with the fire department, we'll make sure that you get one, okay? Everybody needs a smoke detector in their house. Ooh, even that yellow jacket. Everybody needs smoke detector. This thing is like a big nose in the house, okay? It's sniffing for smoke all the time. And when it smells smoke, what does it do? It hollers at you, don't it? Now what kind of noise does it make? What does that mean when this goes off? Does it mean it's supper's ready? Sometimes it goes off when Mom's cooking, don't it? Or Dad. Probably more Dad than cooking, right? Yeah. Okay, if it goes off in the middle of the night and there's smoke in the house, what should we do? We got to get out if there's smoke in the house, don't we? So how's the best way to get out of the house? We stand up and just run out real fast through all the smoke? I got to get out fast, don't I? Where's the fresh air at? Fresh air is down low, so you want to crawl on your hands and knees really fast to get outside, okay? That's where the fresh air is at, down low to the ground. So you want to crawl out really fast, okay? Stay low to the ground. That's where the fresh air is at. Get out really fast. If for some reason you can't get out, we've got firefighters that are going to be coming in looking for you. And guess how that firefighter's going to come in too? He's going to have breathing masks, but he's going to be on his hands and knees too, crawling. If there's a lot of smoke in the house, there's fresh, clean air down towards the bottom, so that's where he's going to be off from. So we can breathe that smoke, so we have to use a lot of special equipment. Gloves are good for SWAT yellow jackets. We use a lot of special equipment when we come inside the house to protect the firemen. And I start at the bottom. We wear heavy boots. They got steel toes in them. They're real thick because we walk across nails and glass and all kinds of things. He wears heavy pants and coat. He's got big pads on his knees. You'll see Mr. Gary's getting ready over here. He's got big pads on his knees. That way he can do crawling in because he's going to be crawling in looking for you. Got his heavy coat on. He's also got his helmet on his head. Why would he need a helmet? Why would he need a helmet? Right. You think Mr. Gary's got a hard head? Yeah. It's not that hard. If stuff starts falling in, it's gonna hurt him really bad too. So he wears a helmet. And guess what? We're not Superman. We can't breathe that smoke either. So we have to have a special air pack, just like a backpack like y'all wear to school. He wears an air pack on the back and carries fresh air. It comes through these hoses and goes into that mask up there. Y'all think he looks scary? Look kind of like his Halloween costume early, don't it? Yeah! Think he looks hot? No! He is, believe me. He's got all this gear on. And that ends up getting hot really fast. And he's going to kind of walk around where y'all can see him a little up close. You might can hear him breathe. He's breathing air from that bottle on his back. And it's really hard for him to holler and talk. So if you get stuck in the house and you see him and he's looking for you, you need to get his attention. Throw something at him. Tennis shoes or stuffed animals. You don't want to do anything really hard. You want to get his attention, okay? You want to say, hey, I'm over here. Okay, all right, quiet down just a second. You want to get the fireman's attention so don't try to get out, okay? And when the firemen come to your house, the first thing we try to do is make sure that everybody's out. Okay, y'all got to listen to me. Listen. Okay. When we come to bring the fire truck, the first thing we try to do is make sure that everybody's out of the house and everybody's safe. Life safety is always first. And then what does firefighters do? We go in and what? We gotta put the fire out. In order to do that, we carry our hoses. Sometimes we have to use axes and pry bars and all this to get into the fire or break through the door to where we can get in. So we take the fire hose so we can go in and put the fire out. And today, we brought one of our newest trucks with us. This one is just a year old, and it's got something different than our other trucks. Does anybody know what it might be? It's got a big ladder attached to it. And on the end of that ladder, if you look, there's this red and black thing is a nozzle which squirts water out of it. Like a big squirt gun. Y'all like